Hello friends, in today's video we are really going to talk about first of all, welcome to this channel, welcome to Evolving Consciousness. I'm so glad that you clicked on the play button. Essentially the whole purpose of this channel is to evolve your own consciousness and in the process be able to share the little nuggets of wisdom I've been able to acquire over a period of time. Essentially the whole purpose of this channel is to evolve our level of consciousness through contemplation of knowledge which is so widely available in this beautiful world of ours. So today's video is on the topic of this secret to eternal happiness. Let me ask you a question. Are you happy at this moment? Whether your answer is astounding yes or a vehement no, I'm going to in the end of the video, you're really going to understand what is the true essence of happiness. And to begin with, I really want to deconstruct the very meaning of happiness. If you look at the dictionary meaning of happiness, it means to be in a state of its happiness is basically a state of mind where you're filled with joy, enthusiasm, compassion, and it's a beautiful place to be in. And if you sort of look back at every action, every endeavor you pursue in your life, your whole objective is to actually look for happiness. So you're doing what you're doing because you feel, you think to be more apt that if you do this, you'll be happy. Human human beings are always caught in this loop of pleasure and pain. What I mean by that is we are always trying to pursue things which give us pleasure and which move us away from pain. Now the good news is that there are two different types of pleasure and pain. There are short-term pleasures. I really, few years back, I heard a distinct understanding, a distinct definition of how you could differentiate between what is good and what is bad. Essentially, it says that the things which give you short-term pleasure but long-term pain are not so good things. And the things which give you short-term pain but long-term pleasure are the things which we must endeavor to do. Now, this was absolutely enlightening for me. Reason being that now I didn't have any confusion. Now I didn't have any choice. I didn't have to make that burden of choice. It's a beautiful place to start with. Hello everybody, back to the video again. So essentially we were discussing about the secrets of eternal happiness. If you really ask me as to what really is the true secret for eternal happiness, I would like to talk about this in a little bit. But before that, I would like to narrate a story. I heard this story a couple of years back, and the story really created a paradigm shift in the way I perceived life. And I'm sure after you hear this story, this will also create a paradigm shift in the way you perceive your life. So let's begin. This story is about an old man who's so exuberant and palpably enthusiastic, especially when he's surrounded with people around him. That guy was so amazing, though he was of a very old age, he didn't show any signs of irritation. He was always brimming with energy and enthusiasm. It was a very peculiar behavior from a person of his age, because normally when we see old people, they hardly have that kind of energy. Of course, exceptions are always there. But essentially, this person was really peculiar in that sense. So, out of sheer curiosity, one fine day, one young man approached this person and asked him, "My dear sir, I want to ask you something." The old man, with a brief pause and a smile on his face, said, "Yes, my son, you may. Please ask your question." Then the young man said, "May I know the reason? Why are you so happy all the time? It's as if you're always happy. You're always full of enthusiasm, joy, and energy." The old man, for the very first time, took a brief pause and he actually told him, and his the facial expression was for the first time not so exuberant, which means the expression was sort of a normal expression to say. So when this guy told the old person, told this person, the young person, you know, my son, most of my life I have been the gatekeeper of a graveyard. Essentially, most of my life I have spent with dead people. So when I see someone alive, I am so happy and so exuberant, and I really am so full of life just by seeing someone alive. And the young person heard this story from the old man. He was literally stumped. And so was I when I first heard this story. Essentially because most of the time we are always locked up in our own echo chamber of thoughts. We don't really appreciate what we really have. And if you start counting your blessings, I'm sure you'll start finding many blessings to count for. But no, we seldom do so because we are always in this complaining mechanism and we are always trying to look at what is wrong versus what is right. Modern day neurologists and neuroscience has come up with a very intriguing study. Essentially, our brain throughout the process of evolution developed what is called as a negativity bias. So let me give you a profound example so that it literally gives you an insight as to what I mean. Say suppose somebody abuses you or somebody is very offensive to you. What happens? You immediately react to it, right? And you immediately accept his offensive words and you are so rattled. And at the same time, if somebody appreciates you, most of the time we always think, why is this guy being so appreciative of me? What can be his hidden agenda? So essentially, the point I'm trying to convey is we doubt when somebody tries to appreciate us, but we never doubt when somebody tries to abuse us. We instantly accept it. So this is the negativity bias. Our mind is naturally drawn towards negativity. So given 10 situations, we are always looking for that one wrong thing versus the 9 good things. And now, before most of you start thinking that this video has been a platitude of sorts, let me give you some insights. According to hardcore neurological scientific facts, it is said that the happy state of mind is the most productive states of mind. Essentially what that means is that when you are in a state of happiness and in a state of joy, your productivity is 10x. Your brain is so creative, so fresh, that you really are on super creative and super productive mode versus when you are stressed out or when you are trying to satisfy your ego or when you are trying to do things to make yourself happy versus being happy doing them. There's a very subtle difference, guys. If you really get hold of this difference, that is an absolute game changer. Essentially what happens is that when we're trying to pursue happiness in everything what we're doing, and after we achieve that, we come to know that still we're not happy. That happiness stays only for a brief amount of time and later on again we're trying to chase things. So guys, let me tell you this thing, right? I'm in no way saying that being happy and being content equates to complacency. Most people have this false narrative when they feel that being complacent, being happy, makes you a complacent person. That is seldom true, guys. You can be an extremely ambitious person at the same time you can be happy. Most people contradict themselves. They say that if I am content, I'll not be ambitious. No, my friend. If you're really excited about what you want to do in life, if you're really enthusiastic about what you want to do in life, you can create ripples in your life. Essentially, sorry for the interruption, guys. So essentially the point I'm trying to convey is that when we are in a happy state of mind, most people say that if I become content, I'll not be able to achieve my goals. But that is seldom true, guys. As I mentioned, You cannot equate being content to being complacent. Being complacent is a different narrative. But when you're really happy and excited to do what you're doing, there's no reason for complacency. You don't want to be complacent. You really want to do the work you want to do because you're so excited and filled with energy and enthusiasm that you want to accomplish what you want to do. So essentially, the point is, right? The secret to eternal happiness lies in this one word. I'm sure most of you would have heard this word, but I'm going to tell it again. The word is, ladies and gentlemen, gratitude. I know most of you would have heard about this word on gratitude, but it is so powerful. Once you start practicing gratitude, it is the ultimate thing which can happen to your life. So most people are don't have the habit of practicing gratitude, and that's why they really feel so difficult to actually practice gratitude. But it's just like any other habit. The more you practice it, the more you become better at it. Essentially, the most lethal weapon against negativity bias is gratitude. And now I really want to give you practical tips as to how you could cultivate this habit of gratitude. Essentially, the number one tip is to influence your subconscious mind versus your conscious mind, because our whole life is actually a result of our subconscious beliefs versus our conscious beliefs. Consciously, you might think that you want to achieve a lot of things in life, but essentially, whatever your subconscious mind is programmed to believe in, your habits are also going to naturally follow that thought pattern. So now thing is, how do we change our subconscious thought beliefs? Now there's a huge amount of science in this, and in my upcoming videos you're going to see how we can really alter our subconscious beliefs. But the very simple task what you can do is as follows. Whenever you go to sleep, before going to sleep, think of the 10 things, 15 things, 20 things. What are the things you were really grateful for which happened today? And in the next morning, be grateful for the fact that you woke up. Because many people don't wake up, my friends. Now, this might sound very philosophical, but this is the sad truth. Most people don't wake up the next day. But you and I woke up. So let's be grateful for that. When we are grateful, there's a beautiful hormone called dopamine, serotonin, all the great neurochemicals which are super important for the productivity of our brain are released. And our brain is a pharmacy of chemicals, and every thought which we create has an effect on our brain, and through our brain, through our body, through our entire energy system, is to our entire life energies are actually driven by our thoughts. So that's how important the power of thoughts is. With this, my ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end this video. If you really liked today's my video, please don't forget to subscribe, my friends, and also share this video with your close and dear fellows. It will bring immense value and immense paradigm shift in the way in which they perceive life in general. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and there are more videos coming up for you. Thank you so much.